Hey, I'm Angie.
I'm Rhonda.
And we are Adventures in No Madness.
Wait, what's that? I think Lisa wants to know if we're leaving yet.
We're almost out of here.
Yeah,
Give us a second.
As soon as we finish this, just a second.
So we're moochdocking, which means we are staying at her sister's property on 5 acres. And we want to give you our top tips on how to mooch dock successfully and be welcome back again.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to our moochdocking spot.
Yeah, isn't it lovely? And hopefully you'll be as lucky as we are to be able to stay someplace like this. My sister and her family put us up for about 4 days, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that'll help you be successful and get invited back. Starting with number 1, don't outstay your welcome. And that means being really clear about how long you're going to stay and sticking to that unless you get asked to extend. So that's our number 1 tip. Number 2, be clear about how you're going to be entering and exiting the home or the RV. So make sure that people don't just come up and knock if you don't want them to, and vice versa. So what we ended up doing is just trying to do text or set up in advance when we were going to get together. That way you can have your privacy if you need it. And almost everybody, at least the introverts like us, needs some private downtime. So it's important to set those guidelines or any other guidelines you need.
Number 3, make the place better than when you left it.
Yep.
So we actually did quite a bit of work. So we got 5 acres out here, and it's a lot of work for her sister and her family, so we definitely helped out. We left a gift. We found out that Lisa's boyfriend is, basically smashing their coffee beans with a hammer because they don't have a coffee grinder, so we bought him a coffee grinder. True story.
Number 4, be considerate about the utilities you use and that kind of thing. So in our case, we didn't need to use electricity, so we didn't hook up. We have solar, and so why use their power? The only thing that we needed to do is use some of their water, and we just put enough that we needed into our tank and basically act like we're boondocking for the most part here.
And it's really wide open, so we had plenty of solar, so it did well. Number 5, think about if there's going to be any issues with pets. We did not foresee ahead of time that there was going to be an issue with their big dog and our little dogs, but we did potentially have a big issue that we had to work out. Now, their dog's a sweetie. It's a rescue dog. It's got some issues, and able to get Clover kind of warmed up to us a little bit, yeah. But Clover wanted to eat our little dog, so we...
Or at least it seemed like it.
Yes.
And we weren't going to take that chance.
No, definitely not. So we had to work out a plan, kind of an outside plan with all the dogs, so we didn't have any issues. And that involved texting back and forth, like, hey, we're taking our dogs out now, bring Clover in, etc., etc. So we were able to work it out after the first day of some tense interactions.
Tip number 6, and our final tip for today, is clean up after yourself. For example, if you're using a fire pit like we were doing, don't leave all your stuff hanging out at the fire pit. We collected it all up at the end of the evening, including any used or empty bottles, etc., all of our pokers, etc., and took it all back to our RV. We tried to keep everything around our RV nice and neat and not have garbage laying around. So that's really important so that you're not looking like a junky, dumpy
Moochdocker.
But
don't be one of those.
Really nice, clean, neat moochdocker.
And you know what? With views like this, how would you not want to be welcome back? Number 2, have good communication. Having a plan ahead of time for how long you're going to stay, and blah 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 blah. This is a really boring tip, so never mind.
Number 4.
We don't know what number 4 is.
Wait a second. Is that it?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, I know. Tip number 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Tip number 6. Clean up after.
Tip number
Easy
6.
for me to say.
Blah, blah,
Tip
blah.
number 6.